Okay, thank you. So now start with our first presentation. Good afternoon once again to each and everyone who are in attendance right now. May I introduce our moderator for this third day. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a graduate of Master of Arts in Nursing, and a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy major in Educational Development. She is now currently working at the College of Nursing as clinical instructor, and she is assigned in the hospital setting. Uh, she is she is a former faculty of another prestigious institution here in Sulu, particularly in the Notre Dame of Alo for College. Please help me welcome Dr. Casma S. Mercado, our moderator for this afternoon.
Under the Office of the Internalization Samurai Trust, India. Added this afternoon for the third day International Visual with our two splendid professors, the College of Nursing, and of course from the Office of the Director for Student Affairs. So our first presenter is from the Director, rather, of the Student for Student Affairs, Ms. Professor Algad. And biology, biology, and currently PhD in educational management. And for this afternoon, we will be presenting administration, management, and student services. So, good morning, sir.
Good day, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
For this year, and respect to the organizer of this international seminar or lectures, MSU Sulu, in partners with Cape Comorin Trust, India. My task this afternoon is to share inputs with regards to the administration and management of on student services. But if we will look at administration and management per se, this is a very, very large or huge topic to be discussed, and it cannot only consume 1 hour. Instead, my part is talked on the organization and functioning of services. Any educational institution seek to form an individual that are later become responsive citizens and being productive in its own country and its own institution or any other organization. That is, responsibility is not confined in the teaching learning process, but we will try to develop a holistic point of students as humans, as human. On that note, the graduates produced by any educational institution should be able to contribute positive change to the development of his or her country and to the upliftment of the so-called human condition. Study shows that according to one published journal, stated that there are three components for student development, for student success, for any educational success. First we have is the so-called
Excuse me, Algazar sir, your PPT is not visible. Are you share your PPT? Please unmute yourself, sir. Your mic is mute. Sir, unmute yourself.
because I was not able to
Are you
upload.
sharing your PPT? Are you sharing?
So we have here.
Okay, you are delivering lecture. Okay,
Do we
please
have now?
continue, please. Yes, it's
Okay, okay.
visible. It's visible now.
Okay, so that will become the theme for today's lecture, which is the administration and management on student affairs and services. Okay, so at the end of the presentation, we will try to come up with the holistic point of view wherein it emphasizes the role and importance of student affairs and services in improving students' academic achievement. Because we think or we believe that according to scholars, there are three, as I said, there are three components of the quality assurance, educational quality assurance. First we have is the so-called quality teaching. Second we have is the learning and service to our students, meaning the student services. Second we have is we will try to identify the programs, the services, the activities by which each unit, each department is taking place, is actually obliged to do that. Now, first is, let us try to define, to give, okay, meaning the so-called what is student affairs and services, or sometimes we refer it as SAS. Now, according to national administrators for Student Personnel, National Association for Student Personnel Administrators, they define as student services as a division, as a department, which provide services, provide everything, provide programs and policies and guidelines in support to the so-called higher educational system. Okay, that's according to the NASPA in 2000. Sorry for that, that is 2000. Let's go here. For the higher educational institution is the so-called CHED, Memorandum 9 Series of 2013. What talks about SAS? According to CHED Memo 9 Series of 2013, when we talk about SAS, it is the service, it is the programs in the HEIs that are concerned with support, the academic support, experience of students to attain holistic. Meaning, it's not only particular on academic, it's not only particular on ethics, on emotional or personal development, meaning it is a total sum of a person, of a totality of man. That is how the CHED Memo 9 Series of 2013 talks about this one, the definition. Now, particularly, the role of student service comprising 5, basing on the different personalities, different journals. For example, according to Hill in 2003, the role of student services is to support activities for the education, for the students in educational quality assurance. Because we believe that the mandate of every institution is to provide education. Hence, quality education conform to the teaching learning process, including the student development. Okay, that's for number 1 role of student services and affairs. Second, because it will provide us, it will decrease, it will mitigate the dropout, the student dropout. Because according to scholars, according to the books stated, that most of the students having a dropout are not considering that they are belong to an institution. Which means they give up their studies because the educational system is not regards, is not considering to them. Okay, that's the role of student services. Number 3 we have is to prepare our students, to prepare our pupils for any active participation in the society. That's according to the UNESCO 2002. Now, basically, students must conform. Students must have a social involvement, must have a community participation. For example, our students must undergo internship. Our students must undergo training. Our students must undergo what? OJT, on the job training. That is how the role of the student affairs and services. Then we have here number 4, it gives the values, it gives a culture of addressing issues. That is why we point out that students give students a series of values by the way of addressing conflict, problems, decisions in life. We believe that we are in the world of globalization. We are in the world of uncertainty, in volatile. So the role of students must have a decision, especially in the critical decision, critical thinking skills. And last but not the least, it is very important for the role of student services is that we will meet their academic needs, we will meet their personal development, and we will meet their emotional ones, meaning the value one, the value formation. That is how the role of students. That is why if you look at student services is very, very broad concept because it encompasses everything around students. Now, we have here, as I said, that basing from the CHED memo, guidelines and provision enhancing the student affairs and services, composing the three parts. We have the student welfare, the student development, and we have the institutional programs and services. We must, okay, it is not only that considering must, it must possess by any institution or educational system. Now, what is this student welfare? What is this student development? And what is this institutional programs and services? Because these are part of the role and the functioning and the positioning of an educational institution. Now, for student welfare, these are basic. These are basic services by any educational institution that will address to the well-being of the students. Meaning the theme of the student welfare is the well-being. That is how we look at the student welfare. So these are part and parcel of the programs that is needed by any schools or educational settings, perhaps. That, for example, we have here information and orientation. Because take note, for example, a freshman student are not aware of what are the policies, what are the guidelines, what are the culture of a campus, of a school. So that is why if there is a freshman and a continuing student, they have or they undergo general orientation and convocation, perhaps, if others. Because take note that the programs and policies on and activities of an educational setting, educational institutions may vary. Perhaps admission and registrars are one. Admission is one. Registrar's office is one. So there is here a policy, a mechanism to have information and orientations, okay, but not limited to print data, okay, to brochure, okay, to materials, printed materials. So that is one, student welfare. Second, student handbook. The student handbook development, any school must have a printed, either in online or in materials, hard copy. That is the guidelines, the settings of the students in any school. Okay, that is their student handbook development. And take note that student handbook must update, okay, yearly, okay, of what is being done in the campus. For example, let us try to look at the example. Pre-pandemic, okay, and during pandemic. Because take note, this is different in modalities. Okay? So the point here is that everything, all policies of the of the educational institution, okay, relevant to students must have in the student handbook. Here, number 3 is career and job placement. Okay, the campus, the school must have a setting, a mechanism on how our students, okay, on how our students must have, okay, track, di ba? Along the lines. That is why we have the alumni and career center. There perhaps the tracking of our students. Okay, that is how the career and job placement. Because we all know that technology and vocational opportunities of our students. And we have here the guidance and counseling. Okay, so the guidance that provides students, okay, utilize their potential to the fullest. That is how guidance takes place. Okay? And when we have counseling, we are talking here about facilitating students to create positive change based on their behavior, attitudes, and values. Okay, we have another here is the student development. So what is this student development? This is a basic services of the school in exploring, okay, in exploring, enhancing their capacity, their capability, their competence. That is how student development. Okay. And we have different programs. For example, we have student activity, okay, trainings, seminars. These are part of the student activity. Okay. Either student-based activities or institution-based activities. That is how student activity. Okay. So we have also here the, because take note, we have the so-called student discipline board that perhaps becomes the Bible of the student for any conduct and ethical issues. So we have another programs, the student government. The student government or the campus, the school must come up with the self-governing bodies, especially to the students. Okay? Because they can express independently their opinions, their expression. And we have another here is the student publication. Okay, so this is referring to the media, to the journal, to the student organ, okay, wherein students can write their feelings, their contentment, their initiatives in the general welfare of students. And last we have is the leadership training. Leadership training that the school must prepare students to undergo different types of training, especially on leadership. So another we have is number 3 is the institutional programs. And services. So these are a basis services for the students that rely, okay, that actually, shall we say, respond to our students. So we have the admission office. This is where the students will get their examination, for example, the SASE. Okay. This is where preparing students to enter into the campus. So we have another here is the culture and arts. The preservation that the school must have preservation of culture and the arts. And scholarship assistance that the school must provide student assistance, financial assistance to those disturbing students. Okay? To those disturbing students. And we have here sports. So the sports that the school must have the so-called physical fitness and well-being. That is how sports development center. Then the food service. The food service that the campus, that the school must have a healthy, okay, food preparation within the campus. Okay. Then we have here, we have the special needs and PWD, because most of our students, or okay, not all students are in the context of educational setting, that there are instances that those students needs special, okay, special needs, or the so-called PWD. That is how our campus provides the ramp for those PWDs in order for them to access all the resources, okay, both academic and non-academic activity. And also we have here programs for health services that campus must have a registered medical practitioners and dental, what's this? Dental practitioners and other allied professionals. Okay, and that is how health services are also needed. And we have here the safety and security. So the safety and security, that the campus must have safe environment, okay, and also the so-called mechanism for coming up with the so-called disaster risk management. Okay, that is under the safety and security. And we have here the student housing. Okay, so most of us are actually in the dormitory, for example, that the students must have the so-called conducive dormitory for learning. Okay, and we have here the multi-faith services. Okay. Students, schools must adhere to the so-called multi-faith service development, because it is not only composed of one religion, one owns orientation. Any educational setting, okay, composing of their own religion. So we will try to have the right to self-religion, to own religion. Then we have here the social and community involvement. That is the programs of the schools to involve our students to go internship, to go OJT, outside campus. And we have here the international foreign students that the school must have a mechanism for the foreign students. And it is basing on the so-called CHED memorandum, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and the Bureau of Immigrations of what are the guidelines and policies with relation to the so-called foreign students or international students. And that will be all for my presentation. And thank you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, so our first presenter was done for his presentation. And he discusses the topic very well. And we hope that every
Yeah.
AJ, please unmute your phone, microphone.
Dr. Meghna, are you there? Dr. Meghna, or any representative from Sulu University, Philippines is available here? Dr. Meghna?
I think there's none.
Okay, what happened, sir?
Pardon, Doc?
I'm asking what happened. There is any technical glitch they are facing?
She is asking what glitch we are facing.
I presume, Doc, that since there is low connectivity in our area, there is a delayed with the
Okay, no issues, no issues. Second speaker is available here. Dr.
Thank you for your listening, Doc.
Second speaker is available here. Dr. Algaza, I'm audible.
Ma'am, please unmute your mic, ma'am. Ma'am, unmute your mic, ma'am.
Gimana mas? Dapat kitaan? Okay, start again. Okay. So I am tasked to present the topic about the advent of technology in nursing curriculum. So our objectives for today's topic: consider how technology have enhanced nursing education, understand the technology tools that enhance nursing education, describe technology usage for teaching and learning in nursing education, understanding the impact of technology on the nurse educators and student nurses, and last, gain a greater understanding of what nursing informatics is all about. So to start with, we have here the definition of technology. Technology is the application of knowledge to the practical aims of human life, or as it is sometimes phrased, to change and manipulation of human environment. In nursing curriculum, technologies has been adopted for it gives positive emphasis to the development of the latest methods for effective education. Technology usage plays a vital role in the facilitation of teaching and learning in higher education. Technology has brought up to nursing curriculum in which nursing informatics must be taught in nursing schools. So technology refers to somewhat methods, systems, and devices which are the result of scientific knowledge being used for practical purposes. Technology in curriculum or nursing curriculum, particularly in nursing education, makes the teaching process more scientific and objectives more clear, simple, easy, interesting, and effective as well. So it also gives proper and thorough guidance to solve any teaching problems. Technology has become the reality of today's learning, teaching and learning, and has noticeably improved higher education, including nursing education. In nursing curriculum, we have, or it has a subject that every student nurses should take up, and that is nursing informatics, which I believe I will be tackling later. Next one. Technology is the practical application of knowledge, especially in a particular area. A manner of accomplishing a task, especially using technical processes, methods, or knowledge. So technology has always been the forefront of human education nowadays. From the days of carving figures on rock walls to today, when most students are equipped with several portable technological devices at any given time, technology continues to push educational capabilities to new levels. So in looking at where educational methods and tools have come from to where they are going in the future, technology's importance in the classroom is evident now more than ever. Technology in this curriculum. Nursing curriculum deals with the explosion of information, the complexity of the nurses in healthcare system, and optimal patient's outcome while addressing the diverse expectation of learners. Inclusion of information management and interactive technology facilitates learner engagement, promoting critical thinking and improving clinical judgment. Fundamental to inclusion of technology in nursing education is information literacy and informatics. So to prepare future nurses for the challenges of the complex, or nurses as well for the challenges of the complex and dynamic healthcare environment, nursing education or the faculty must and the curriculum infused with technological innovations. Multiple interactive technologies somehow integrated within nursing curriculum. Technology-enhanced nursing education. Technology has revolutionized the field of nursing education, making it an integral part of the curriculum. A 2022 meta-analysis found that the use of educational technology tools has great potential in improving healthcare functions among nurses or nursing students, as well as enhancing the quality of life and patient satisfaction. So in the past, nursing education predominantly relied on textbooks only, some lectures and clinical rotations. However, with the advancement of technology, nursing education has evolved to include a range of technological tools that enhance the learning experience and better prepare students for clinical practices. With technology, educational capabilities are growing and changing every day. So the internet is a vast electronic library of information, and both research and instruction can be achieved through a click of the mouse. So with these technologies come new responsibilities to the educator and therefore increase the value of learning. As technology advances in nursing education, the educator's ability will grow by leaps and bounds, and without knowledge of these changes and capabilities, an instructor has a good chance of being left behind. Technology tools that enhance nursing education. So we have here the first technology tools. First is the simulation. One of the most important technological advancement in nursing education is simulation, which allows nursing students to practice clinical skills in a controlled and safe environment for working with real patients. So this can improve patient safety and reduce uh, medical errors. Medical errors. Simulation also allows student nurses to receive immediate instructor feedback and correction. So in order to enhance the learning experience also of the student. Tools for simulations, we have two. First is the mannequins or the high fidelity mannequins. So mannequins or high fidelity mannequins in the ways of advancement, computerized mannequins that resemble real patients. These mannequins can mimic various physiological responses such as changes of heart rate, blood pressure, and even respiratory rates. So high fidelity mannequins simulation allows students to practice complex clinical scenarios like managing a patient in cardiac arrest or even responding to a rapidly deteriorating patient. Second tool for simulation, we have immersive virtual reality simulations or the IVR. It employs computer-generated environment to immerse students, nurses in lifelike clinical scenarios. So it allows them to interact with virtual patients and practice diagnostical skills in a safe, controlled setting. Controlled setting. So this would also serve as a better preparation for practice. So IVR can be used to improve student nurses' learning outcomes such as knowledgeable, skill, performance, learning satisfaction, critical thinking, and self-confidence as well. Third tool for simulations, we have video capture software. So this allows students to capture and safely upload videos of themselves performing skills at home or even at the laboratory. Instructors use this to upload high-tech simulation lab videos in the software. Here in Sulu, we have the OBS software under video capture software. So next simulation tool, we have electronic health records or the digital patient charting system. So other institutions, especially international, adopted EHR already because it enhances efficiency and decreases the high rate of medical errors. So, but unfortunately, it is not yet applicable here in Sulu because most of the health here are not equipped enough with knowledge on computer. They are not enough. They are not computer literate, and some are hesitant to learn due to age matter. No, but some are eager to learn, but does not have an opportunity to be trained. Last simulation is a portfolio. Function as a capstone project that can reflect the concept-based curriculum in nursing program. So it requires student nurses to think critically, holistically, and communicate efficiently about being for any clinical practices. Technology tools that enhance nursing education. So this is the continuation. The first one is the simulation. The second is the online learning. So online learning platforms provide students access to course materials, videos, quizzes, and interactive tools. Also facilitates communication and collaboration among students and instructors, enabling them to work together and exchange ideas regardless of location. So this flexibility allows students to learn at their own pace and is convenient for them. So which can be especially important for working nurses pursuing nursing education. For Filipino nurses working abroad that want to pursue or want to grow academically. So they will enroll professional nursing courses online. Third, we have telehealth platforms. Telehealth platforms use digital systems to facilitate remote healthcare services, connecting healthcare providers with patients in distant or underserved areas. In nursing education, these platforms enable students to participate in virtual clinical rotations under the guidance of experienced professionals, of course. So this may expose student nurses to diverse patient populations, helping them develop sense and adaptability. Fourth is the electronic health records. EHR are digital systems used by healthcare providers to manage patient information, including medical history, test results, and etc. By incorporating electronic health records into nursing education, students can gain hands-on experience using the same technology that they will encounter in clinical practices. So this experience can help them develop the skills that they need to use electronic health records efficiently and effectively, which can improve patient care and workflow. So the last technology tools that enhance nursing education, we have real-time location systems. Real-time location systems are advanced technologies that is used a combination of sensors, communication, networks, and software application to track the location of equipment, staff, and patients within healthcare facility in real time. So real-time location systems, I believe this will offer benefits such as teaching students the importance of workflows, enhancing resource management, and improving also the interdisciplinary collaboration by also understanding the practical application of this tool. So student nurses can optimize patient care processes and effectively manage medical resources if they are equipped with knowledge on how to use this tool, real-time location system. Now allow me to proceed to technology used in teaching and learning in nursing education. Technology in nursing education is primarily used for communicating of instructions to the students to enhance their creativity and critical thinking skills, and also for building relationships with nurse educators. Technology in nursing education can also be used to somehow manage academic dishonesty through the use of, for example, the software such as Turnitin. Because mostly students has this habit to just copy paste an information from the internet. So Turnitin would help them to develop their we call this skills on building information correctly. So Turnitin is a plagiarism test application. So, technology in nursing education is used to maintain students' attention and to corroborate theoretical learning through the use of audio virtual aids. The most common use of technology include the use of software to access applications such as calculators, drug guide, disease and disorder books, and medical dictionaries. So this allows students to get the comfort of accessing instant references in their pocket when they need to make clinical decisions. Now, the impact of technology on the nurse educators and student nurses. First impact, we have learning has become a shared responsibility. Educator has taken the role of facilitator as the access to information that bridge the gap between educator and student. So when the information is widely available, it is no longer necessary for the educator to find or somehow filter and deliver the content. Therefore, the educator is no longer the person who holds all the answers of the individual, who is solely responsible for imparting information. Second, we have educators are becoming facilitators of learning rather than providers of information. So the need for memorization of information becomes less important than the ability to think critically. So they are helping individuals to learn how to solve problem or refine problem to find the information they need and to critically evaluate performance. Third, nurses must structure their approach to healthcare education. Nurses must be prepared to be a facilitator of learning by clients to access, not just helping students to learn. Also, and use the wide range of information that is available. So nurses must also learn how and when to use technology and remain current as new technology-based tools become available in order to optimize each learning experiences. Proceeding to the benefits of technology in nursing education. Number one, we have increased efficiencies. So gone are the days when you had to save lesson on a roller chalkboard or prepare each lesson on the chalk in advance. No? Now, teachers can use platforms such as ClassFlow or Google Scholar to create new and import existing lessons that can be resumed time to time. Diba? Second is more inspiring learning. Technology can inspire learning. So historically, students learn from textbooks. No? However, augmented reality or virtual reality and 3D printers are now being used to create multisensory or learning experiences. Third, reduced assessment burden. So rather than spending endless hours in making class records with paper, ClassFlow or Google Meet or Google Classroom can make your work easier. So that the educator create and run assessments and export results of any exams and quickly and easily upload the grade. So with the ability to mark and collate responses at the moment of learning in real time. So maximize learning time. So here, homework has long been used by teachers or educators to help maximize learning. However, some schools are flipping the script with students using technology to watch lectures outside the classroom, outside the learning facilities, and complete corresponding tasks in school hours with teachers on hand to answer any question. Support materials for an assignment can include a ClassFlow lesson, web link, document, video, and ClassFlow assessment. Google Scholar, Google Classroom is in Zulu. So teachers can even send collaborative homework assignment even at home. Fifth benefit, we have improved personalization. Everyone learns a little differently, while educators have long strived to meet the needs of all the students. Painstakingly setting and photocopying different assignments or assessment for different students depending on their abilities. So technology designed for the classroom, such as in Google Classroom or Classroom, makes the process a whole lot easier. Increase innovation. So digital skills are needed for a digital age. So while in the past years or historically, students learn these skills in related classroom, such as computer subjects. No? Technology is now a core part of the learning experiences across all subjects, not just in computer subjects. Okay. 7, greater student confidence. That's not a pupil. Greater student confidence. For years, teachers have been, or educators have been asking their classes questions in a bid to stimulate discussion and feedback. With eager students sticking their hands in the air, no? Today, technology lets students send their answer from their device directly to the educator's device. It promoting deeper learning and engaging while increasing the participation of all learners. So improved students' behavior, learners' behavior. This can help to create a more positive learning environment, no? Because that historically, educators would write or set a meeting to inform parents on their child's behavior. They send emails or they post in a bulletin board. So today, teachers have access to applications such as ClassDoho, Google Scholar, which lets them provide instant online feedback and they can also include parents on that particular Ability to advance technology in nursing curriculum. First, we have information literate. The ability to access needed information, evaluate information found, organize information, and use information from a variety of sources. So information literacy, wherein the educators must know how to find the information needed and can evaluate the information founded for accuracy, currency, and bias. Second is computer literate, the ability to use the computer hardware and software necessary to accomplish routine tasks. So computer literacy, wherein we must be literate in using computer. We must know how to use computer and has the technology, technical knowledge skill necessary to use contemporary hardware and software as well, and can adapt to new technology that are emerging or that has been emerging. You know? However, in order to use this, in order to apply technology in nursing education, it should have a pre-teaching assessment of a client in the information technology. So it must begin with questions about computer use, no? Before getting to expert level. Ability to advance technology in nursing curriculum. Number 3, internet. So the World Wide Web, or WWW, is merely a small component of the much larger computer network called internet. The internet service most likely to be interest to nurse educators include those that allow computer facilitated communication, such as Google Mail, Gmail, email, even FB messengers, and other online chats. Now, let's tell about nursing informatics. Nursing informatics is a discipline focused on the management of electronic health records and information systems. Nursing informatics is a specialty that integrates nurses as well as student nurses to manage and communicate data, information, knowledge, and wisdom in rendering quality care in informatics practice. So nursing informatics help nurses equipped with up-to-date information technology, medical facilities, and it also helps nurses in handling securely enormous amount of sensitive data of the client or of the patient. Nursing informatics is essential to the delivery of high quality and cost-effective healthcare in every aspect where technology is abundant. Nursing informatics skills may apply to educate health providers. So educate health providers in how to make the best use of electronic health records and clinical decision support system. Next is develop privacy policies, like enforcing privacy rules in accordance with ethics, of course, and regulations. Enable proper communication between healthcare and IT professionals and other necessary individuals to communicate with each other more effectively. Implement analytics. So here, implement analytics to monitor and facilitate nursing process. Keep records aligned. So keep electronic health records aligned with the best practices for data management, processes, and organization. Last, we have develop data and software tools. So of course, develop data structures and software to use for nurses to use both in quality nursing education and rendering quality healthcare services. So what are the benefits of nursing informatics? First is the efficient clinical process. Efficient clinical process. Healthcare organizations have pursued a shift away service model into providing value-based care. Informatics aids in these efforts to offer systematic, evidence-based treatment that prevents unnecessary or overly expensive procedures. So by doing nursing informatics, nurses and other medical professionals or medical alliances are able to set and enforce best practices while meeting the individual needs of the patients. So in academe, nurses, nurse educator would be able to set best practices while meeting the needs of the student nurses. Coordinated care, delivering the best possible results for patients often calls for collaboration among healthcare professionals who may work in different departments, facilities. Care coordination and communication makes it possible for everyone involved in diagnosis and treatment to organize their efforts and share information. So, such as having access to a variety of healthcare services, healthcare providers, and having clear communications and effective planning or managing. Last benefits of nursing informatics, advances in telehealth. The importance of telehealth is rapidly growing in the nursing curriculum, according to Adelphi's College of Nursing. He argues that the growing use of digital sensors to monitor conditions of patients is a sign of major shift in how healthcare providers track diseases, encourage treatment adherence, and prevent dangerous situations. So the telehealth advancement provides hands-on experience using the latest technology in order to monitor patients outside the hospital, or to monitor medical records records, as well as the medical practices that the nurses are being implementing. Student nurses should be enduring this kind of advancement, so they will be able to know how to, of course, operate or control the remote sensors, telepresence applications to gain insights into an individual's health from a distance. So it would be beneficial for all, since we are still not COVID-free. So that ends my topic. Thank you all for the time. Good day. I'm giving the floor to the moderator.
So our second presenter had contributed the importance
nursing
of technology
curriculum, wherein
in
technology
the nursing
makes
curriculum,
the
teaching technology
here,
makes
whereby
the teaching
learning has became a shared responsibility between the educator and the student. At this point in time, we are ready for, or the presenter is ready for the question. Anyone can ask the presenter.
Any ideas to share?
If there is no question, we can, anyone is also open for sharing information regarding the topic.